Hi everyone. Giving the graph, this quadratic equation graph, y equals, or f of x equals negative 1/2 times the quantity of x minus 4 squared, and then plus 3. We're going to write down the coordinates of P, L, M, and N and find those. So this is the graph. This is a typical Math SL type problem. And what you usually do is they don't give you anything, but you just have to know how to find these algebraically. So the first thing they want you to do is find P, and P is right here, and that you can do by just looking at your, finding your vertex here. Your vertex is HK, so that's going to be 4, 3. So that's the coordinates of P, 4, 3. They also want you to find L. Well, L is just the y-intercept. And so the y-intercept is when you let x be 0, and then you find your y. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to let x be 0. So I'll just put y for f of x equals negative 1/2 times 0 minus 4 squared plus 3. So we get y equals negative 1/2 times negative 4 squared plus 3. So that's going to be negative 1/2 times 16 plus 3. So that's negative 8. So y equals negative 8 plus 3, which equals which equals negative 5, or negative 3. So your y-intercept is going to be, negative 8 plus 3. I should have wrote that. So we have negative 8. I was thinking of the answer. Negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5. So our L point is our y-intercept, which is 0, negative 5. Then we have to find points M and N, or calculate those points. So that's when our y is 0. So we're going to set 0 equals negative 1/2 x minus 4 squared plus 3. And I guess what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and simplify all this on this side. Get negative 1/2 and use your a minus b formula. So this is going to be x squared minus 8x plus 16 plus 3. And then continue on distributing that to get negative 1/2 x squared plus 4x minus 8 plus 3. Now we can simplify this and add these two. So we get 0 equals negative 1/2 x squared plus 4x minus 5. And again, you can see your y-intercept from here. You plug in 0, you get negative 5. So it's a lot easier to see that way. Now, I don't like that 1/2 here, so I'm just going to multiply everything through by negative 2, because I don't like the negative either in the front. We'd like to make, we're going to have to use the quadratic formula now so we can factor this. So when you multiply by 2, you get negative 2, you get 0 equals x squared minus 8x plus 10. Now, the thing is, what's bad about this is you can't factor it. If you could, then you could easily find your M and N points. So what we're going to have to do is use the quadratic formula. So our quadratic formula, remember, is x equals a negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. And in our case, we had 0 equals x squared minus 8x plus 10. So our A is 1, our B is negative 8, and our C is 10. So all you have to do is plug it in. You have negative times negative 8 plus or minus square root of negative 8 squared minus 4AC all over 2 times 1. So this gives you 8 plus or minus the square root of 64 minus 40 all over 2. And furthermore, this is 8 plus or minus square root of 24 divided by 2. Square root of 24 over here, that's going to be square root of 4 times 6, which gives you 2 square root of 6. So let's write that out. 8 plus or minus 2 square root of 6. And I'll just put this 2 under each piece here. So we get our x equals 4 plus or minus square root of 6. So my m would be 4 minus square root of 6 because it's closer in. And my n would be 4 plus square root of 6. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.